Hey everyone, it's Mera Mangle.
And Chloe Curiosity.
And welcome to another Mangled morning.
Ooh.
Woo. Clarita Curiosity, how are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
You look stunning. You're giving
thank you.
Glinda.
Giving a little Glinda moment.
Realness.
Yes.
Because there was no realness in this Rusical.
Ooh. And I ooh.
No, she did great, but like, why was her number about boobs? We'll talk all about that Rusical.
Okay, but I kind of lived for that.
And she did slightly. But, very, very misleading Rusical in my opinion. I have feelings about that.
Yeah.
Some of the queen's feelings about each other as they're saying them, that doesn't make any sense.
I get
the
it.
The opinions are strong, as they have remained all season. And
they're very opinionated.
From episode 1.
Oh, yeah.
Even though we've seen the romance between Kori and Lydia all season, boy, it was like physical, real physical. And
it's like feeling really real.
They're still spending lots of time together, traveling together.
On social media, I always see Kori post like TikToks all the time, and Lydia is always in the background. Like they're hanging out all the time. So
damn, hopefully they have jobs. Before we get started, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and join the Patreon where you can see all kinds of additional content you can't see on YouTube. Plus, you're helping support the channel. Now you can also support the channel by tipping on Venmo or Cash App like Stephen B, who said, welcome back. He said, January was a dark and lonely time without your content. Oh. It was a dark and lonely time for me too, but I guess I had my own demons as content. We'll talk a little bit about that in a moment as well. And then Jesse S, who also said, welcome back. Slapping my thighs for content has never felt so good for content. They both did that, by the way. I should have said content for Stephens as well. But thank you both. You can now, once again, tip using the YouTube things, which we'll go over some of those at the end of the video. The last time you were here was like early fall, around October. How you been, gal?
I've been good. I'm just doing my thing. I actually was out sick for a couple weeks. I'm finally getting back into performing and everything this week. So
what were you sick with?
I don't even know. Just a really bad cold.
One of those things that's happening. It's hard to even tell. There's so many different things going on. It's like, what's... I just had to drop out of a few shows like last 2 weeks. The last time you were here, you were like to the point where you were working yourself hard.
Yeah.
Have you cut back, or are you still like it 5 nights a week?
No, not that much. I have pretty much like now I have like about a regular gig of like 5 or 6 a month, but
oh, that's not too bad.
It's not too like it just depends though, because then like obviously in St. Louis like things just randomly come up. It just kind of depends. But
no, the last time you were here, you were doing so much.
It was a bit much.
Like you're gonna get burnt out. But you kind of recognize that.
I'm not every weekend anymore.
Yeah, good for you.
So, which I enjoyed that a lot better because I feel like when you're able to focus more on a performance, it like you feel better about it.
And you can be like you have time to think and be creative.
Yeah,
get your juices going.
Yeah, you can't think of new things if you're constantly performing.
Right.
Like
work, sleep, go.
Yeah. Bus, club, not club.
The reason why I chose my outfit is very meta. I've shared some stuff on social media about what I went through while I was gone for the dark January times. If you don't know, I was literally in a psych ward for part of the time I was gone. Because I had a full-on mental psychotic breakdown. During that time, I deleted the old channel. I deleted everything with Mera Mangle. And it was for, very dark reasons that I can't necessarily even talk about on YouTube without us getting flagged because of self-harm discussions. So there was a lot of self-harm that I attempted, and part of that was getting rid of Mera as well. It was like part of the whole thing I was doing. Does it make any sense? No, but that's just where that's where my mind was at.
Yeah.
But fortunately, can't get rid of this old lady. Mera comes back and comes back again.
And we're so glad.
But the thing I wanted to clarify that's happening in the comments that's really bizarre is not even really necessarily about that. There's this narrative that I took away the channel from other people. Obviously, I took it away from everyone, including myself.
Right.
But just to clarify with the co-hosts, no one else was responsible for the channel at all. Or even if I had left it up and did go away, no one would have ever been able to have access to it again.
Right.
No one ever had access. I didn't take anything away from anyone else. No one else besides myself for the past 5 years has ever edited a video, produced a video, made a graphic, come up with a list. In fact, the audience probably comes up with more lists than y'all do.
Right. I feel like a lot of times when I'll say something, Mera will be like,
we did that.
We already did that before.
Yeah. You did that last
You were
week.
in the video with me, bitch.
Oh, yeah, you've done that before. You've asked what the video was as we were doing it.
Yes, we just show up and talk. So
yeah, so the role of any of my co-hosts, I send them the topics, a day or two beforehand to let them know what they're going to be discussing. They show up to film. I pay them for their time here to film. It's not any of their primary sources of income. The channel's only been and Patreon's only been my income.
We all do drag outside of this,
or like have day jobs.
Yeah.
And you're paid for your time while you're here, but you know, everything that they do is on camera. So y'all see that. And I think it is very valuable, but no one else is putting in the work that I did with the channel or had any sort of additional access to it. So the narrative that, you know, I took the channel away from Scarlett doesn't make any sense. I took it away from everyone, but she didn't have any extra access, no more than anyone else did. No more than you watching this right now did. You know, she's obviously started her own channel, and I think that's great. And I think you should go support her on the channel. And I think we should both be allowed to have our own without it being a thing where we had a falling out.
Right.
You know, there was no real falling out. So she just chose to start a new path in 2025. And at that time, I was still... It was early stages of January, and I was not in any sort of mental state to be making any decisions. So, but I fully support her, and you should go support her too, instead of coming over here saying I took something away from her.
Yeah.
That she never had.
No time for the drama.
Guess what? Now she does have a channel, and go support it.
That part, and you can support both, so...
Right!
Yeah.
All right, before we get into this week's episode, what are your general feelings on 17? Have you been enjoying it? Highlights, lowlights?
For the most part, I have been liking it.
Yeah.
I think there has been, like, a lot of drama. I'm not always, like, the one that's like, oh, I love the drama. But I do think it's been making good TV. I think some of them are really funny. My favorite right now, I don't know if we should already say it, but I'm rooting for Lexi Love. I'm obsessed with her.
Yeah.
I picked to win, so...
I said last week, there's only 2 girls I can actually see winning this, based on what their superstar presence, and it's Lexi Love. And actually, Jules, who still has no wins.
Yes.
Jules is the other one. I
like Jules, too. Yeah.
I feel like she should have at least 2-3 wins by now.
Yeah. I was sad about Crystal when I was, like, expecting her to make it further.
One of our videos this week is going to be kind of around her elimination and the history of that occurring. So that's a good tease. It's going to come up. There's a new narrative that I feel like just started in the last few episodes, but it was really heavy this week. Susie's delusion. She's getting that Lucy LaDuca delusional.
They are giving her that edit.
That Jan, you know, just crazy. I want to win, and I'm amazing.
She thinks she's the best one.
To me, it's a little like an abrupt transition.
Right.
That was not the girl that we
were getting in the beginning. Yeah.
But also, I don't know if we were getting if we were just not getting as much of her. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know. I don't really know how to read it because I still like Suzie, and I feel like they're almost editing it, trying to make her like
delusional,
like the delusional one that like nobody's liking right now.
She was delusional about thinking she could win Snatch Game.
I do think, I mean, in Snatch Game, obviously,
and about saying
it was not as good as she thought it was.
It was more that what was more delusional than anything was the fact that she was saying that Onya's Eddie Murphy was bad.
Was not good, yeah.
Like, okay,
when
now
that was obviously... I think, like, with that, like, she got in her head about thinking that she was really good, and,
Her and Acacia were a couple of the girls that fought over parts. They both wanted to be Dorothy? Yeah. Suzie did not get it, but Suzie was in the top, and Acacia was Dorothy.
Yes.
Which I guess technically was the lead. But I mean, all she did being the lead is be like, can I go now?
Yeah, like, she just kept asking,
she
and then...
necessarily, you know, like, she wasn't the true lead, in my opinion.
I don't think so. Lead. And I do kind of wish we could have seen what Suzie would have done, because I don't know.
I think Suzie
Dorothy was a little bit of a flop, but...
Right, and we're going to break the Rusical down, but obviously that didn't work out in her favor. And then the other pairing also... One made the top and one was in the bottom 2.
Yeah.
Was Kori and Jules. They both wanted Glinda.
Yeah.
And after seeing the Rusical, I understood why Kori did not want the part 2.
Like, that whole role was kind of just a throwaway.
Well, I mean, look at this bottom photo. I mean, she was born to play the backup to Lydia.
It is funny that they ended up being the two.
The way that I feel like the longest single shot of the whole episode was not even with the shot with their faces. The shot of just Kori's arms around Lydia. I'm like, wow, this is like 10 seconds on this one shot. Like, we can't even see their face.
Literally.
And that's why I put them together, because it kind of almost looks like an image. But, I feel like that we really leaned heavy into their story this episode.
Yeah.
Which makes me think there might be a lip sync coming up where they have to...
where they go against each other.
That's what it was giving to me. I'm like, why are we, like, amping this up more?
I could see that, because I mean, Kori's been in the bottom a couple times.
Yeah, neither one of them is going to win this.
Yeah.
We've been so excited for this Wicked, Wiz, and
Yes.
Oz mashup Rusical. And then we actually get the Rusical, and it's basically a chorus line, but as Wiz characters.
Right.
Because they slap on that extra little bit there at the start of the Rusical, saying auditions today. That wasn't in the preview, and that wasn't at the start of the episode.
Yeah.
They hid that from us.
Yeah.
I feel like they intentionally misled us. I could probably file a lawsuit. I thought Suzie did a great job. The problem with Suzie's was she was up first.
Yeah.
And I still was like, what are we watching?
Right.
Why is this happening? I still was just like so not into it that it was hard to focus on what she was doing. But once I like started paying attention to what she was doing, I'm like, well, she's killing it.
Yeah.
But I hate this concept.
Other than like the look, I mean, nothing was like a tribute really to Alphabet. Like any of the song part really.
That's the problem with some of these. Like some of the songs have nothing to do with the characters.
Yeah.
And they're basically just people auditioning in costume.
Yeah, that's why I was like, it was a little. I think she did good. But it was a little random.
It was. It was like that Snatch Game on Canada where it was Snatch Game the Rusical. Like, you're not playing Snatch Game.
Yeah.
You're not that character.
Yeah.
You're you in a Rusical pretending like you're bombing Snatch Game.
Yeah.
You know? It's weird. I will say Jules did give some Glinda energy with just, like, her bubbly personality, which she naturally gives.
Yeah.
And her song was wild.
I thought that was, like, maybe my favorite part out of it. But also, that's just because, like, that's what I would want to play. Glinda with big boobs.
Oh, I could totally see you doing that. Yeah, that's totally your
But I thought
also,
she did good, but,
she
I
did.
mean, with the nipple kept popping out, I guess it fit the song, like...
She handled it really well. And
right? She kind of played into it.
She hammed it up hard, which I think really is what made her stand out. Like, her facial expressions are so funny.
The one thing that bothered me was, like, the breastplate was so off-color. Like, it was, like, not her skin tone.
But, you know, they did...
I feel like they gave it to her.
They said they provided all the wigs and costumes. And some of these costumes, especially the Cher, and I guess that breastplate, were pretty
That's true. I guess
rough.
the Cher was... I guess maybe all the costumes were from the show.
They said they provided them.
Yeah, that makes more sense. But for the boobs, I was kind of like... You'd think they would give her ones that would match her skin tone.
Or maybe add a little, like... at least contour to it.
Yeah.
Around the neck or around the cleavage.
Because that was the only thing that took me out of it a little. But other than that, I thought Jules did really good. I thought her part was funny.
No, she did good. And I think that the Lion, Scarecrow, and Tin Man all did great.
I thought they did too.
Lexi's part was the funniest, and she made the most of it.
Yeah.
But
and she kind of did the voice.
Yeah. She, like, was the standout.
Yeah.
But I was pleasantly surprised with how the other two did.
I thought the Tin Man was really funny, too.
Yeah.
I was like...
Arrietty's vocals were good.
Arrietty did better. Like, I thought she did good, and I think she's, like, kind of broke that standard. Like, for the last time she was in, like, the acting challenge, she didn't do very good.
She hasn't been able to do anything that's remotely comedy. So this was
I thought she did
big
good.
progress for her.
Yeah. And always her makeup is fierce.
And then the Cher.
The Cher was so random, but I thought it was hilarious.
I think that with her accent and what she was given as a part, I think she did fine. It didn't give Cher to me. It gave me like Reba with the root canal. You know, like the accent the voice was funny.
Yeah.
She was scowling a lot.
Yeah.
Which Cher's eyebrows.
The makeup, I don't think.
No, it
was not Cher.
No, no.
She didn't really have a lip.
It was really the brows that were like really bad. And
I didn't like the lip. I thought, where's her lip? I don't know. I feel like Cher would have a bigger lip.
And I hated her costume, but that's not her fault.
Yeah. I do think, like, the house needed to be bigger on the head. That's just my own, like, opinion about the look.
The house don't need to be there. Just make a bigger
I thought that, like, it was funny. I thought that was camp to have the house. But it was like, why is it so small?
But if it was actually Cher would not entertain.
She would not have that.
She would have a big wig, but she would not entertain that house.
The song, they didn't even mention the house, like, dropping on her. I thought, like, they mentioned the tornado, which I thought was camp. But then they didn't say, like, and then the house fell on her, or anything like that.
Her song was, like, something like Tornado as the chorus. It actually was a cuter song.
I thought it was good. I thought it was funny, but I was waiting for them to be like, and then the house fell on her. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
You just are the tornado. If I could turn back time, look. I guess she's turning.
Right.
There you go.
She's turning. Maybe that's where they got that.
I mean, that's a stretch, though. I had to really think on that. Then we had our two monkeys, which it was poetic for the season. Like, the challenge fit the two of them.
The duet.
But Kori barely had any lines. That part was, like, written to be...
It was weird. Like, every part,
two.
she was the backup. Like,
she
had one word each line.
She never got to be the lead, for real. It's, like, one of those that's designed to be, like, well, either you, like, make crazy faces or you, like, really do something... Or you're gonna be bottom 2.
Because they didn't even really, like, establish her character. Like, was she supposed to be the mom one? Or, like, just the weird one in the back? Like, I don't... You know what I mean? Like, it was just, like... I feel like Lydia's monkey came out and did her thing. And then all of a sudden, she was behind her. Like... Right.
She was just, like, co-signing on everything she
said.
Yeah, it was not great. I mean, Lydia did well with her part.
Yeah, Lydia was funny. She made the most of being the monkey.
And this Rusical in general, like, there weren't a lot of people that bombed. Like, even Kori... It's like, well, what the hell was she supposed to do?
Yeah,
you know?
I think anybody in that part, it would have been...
That's why no one wanted it.
Yeah.
I think the best part of the whole Rusical was Onya. Not only did she sound the best, it was the best song, and she danced her ass off.
She had really hard choreo, too.
Like, she had backup... Like, she had the full set.
And I thought she really was, like, in the character. Like, she was giving it...
It was the only one that was actually giving Wizard of Oz and giving wings.
Yeah.
Like, giving the actual Rusical.
Because the song actually did kind of sound like this other...
It's the only one that sounded like the song.
Yeah.
It had some of the same lyrics. I'm like, y'all are getting dangerously close.
Right. I was surprised, like... Yeah, I wish they would have leaned into that with the music on some of the other ones.
All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have rather them do the Rusical they said they were
They didn't even, like, for Elphaba, they could have had her, like... fake that note, like, I don't know, like, where was the defying gravity?
Right.
Like, Dorothy, it could have been a little more somewhere over the rainbow-esque, like, but I think that's, like, they tried to make it slow, so it was like that, but it was, like, not giving that.
After Anya's, like, show-stopping performance, I felt really bad for Acacia, because she's been begging to go this whole show, and then it's her turn, and then she gives nothing. Like,
she gave nothing.
I will say that she seemed almost moved, you know, in the face, like, it looked like she was,
Oh dear!
The spirit of Dorothy got me.
She's coming for us. Ah! The house is gonna drop on you next.
The house has already dropped on me. She looked like she was getting emotional when she was hitting one of the last notes, but the problem was what she had recorded for the voiceover and everything, and the song itself was just so flat and emotionless.
I felt like she just sang it really monotone, like...
Very monotone. No inflection in her voice, no emotion in her voice.
I wish they would have, like, made her re-record it.
I'm surprised they didn't push her more to give it more.
I felt like she should have leaned more into the camp and made it, like, a little funnier and, like, gave it more of a character. Because it was, like...
That's what Chastity said, too.
Yeah, it just felt very...
She didn't give any sort of character to it.
Yeah.
Even when she was like, is it my turn? She just was genuinely seemed sad.
Yes.
Like, there was nothing fun about it.
I feel like she just really wanted to have, like, this emotional moment, but it just wasn't giving.
And then,
like,
I mean, it sucks that that's what we waited for, and then that was, like, the biggest disappointment for sure.
You would think, though, too, like, I feel like with what the judges have told her, she needed to, like, camp it up and make it more of, like, a weird, like, funnier number.
Yeah.
I feel like they don't want...
This was really...
They wanted her to, like, make them laugh. I don't know.
I think out of regardless of what happened, I think this really was her week to, like, piss or get off the pot. And so I do think it was... You know, it made sense that she was at the bottom too. And then Kori, obviously, it did make sense based on the part. And that she didn't... You know, it's like... I feel like it's one of those parts like when Asia, you know, was in that one horrible commercial challenge and all she did was go...
Oh,
you know, it's like you have to do something to, like, steal the scene.
Yeah.
You have to come up with your own character, basically.
You have to make Rue laugh. Like, that hysterical laugh.
She needed to come up with her own version of the Flying Monkey. We only had 2 bottoms, which was kind of confusing. And we had 4 people in the top. Because at first you're like, well, wait, who's in the bottom 3 with them? You know, like...
Right.
But we didn't have it. Jules, Onya, Sam, and Suzie were all in the top. But Sam got the win. What did you think of that?
I thought she did look really good. Like, her look looked good.
And if it came down to Runway based on who's in the top, sure. But I just feel like her part... To me, I by no means thought she should be a bottom.
Yeah.
But I was... Before they got to her, I was guessing, well, she's got to be the bottom. Because no one... Like, the others aren't. And her Cher was weird, but, I mean, it was a weird part.
I kind of liked the Cher, though, so I mean, like, I can see it. I would have maybe thought Onya.
I guess they don't want her to have 3 wins already.
Yeah.
Because it really should be her, like, 4th.
Based on, like, just the performances, like, in the Rusical, I feel like Onya definitely
I think the Runway probably prevented her, but...
Yeah. I liked her Runway, too, but it was, like, different.
Understated.
Yeah.
What'd you think about this lip sync?
I thought Kori was eating. I was kind of living for, like, when Acacia took off her... like, head.
Yeah,
like,
and she was actually serving more face in this lip sync
Yeah.
than she did during the Rusical.
At first, I was kind of living for Acacia, but then I was like, okay, but Kori's kind of taking it with all the moves she was doing.
Kori
like,
gave it every move she had, and she gave us a bunch of high kicks.
Yeah.
And a second week in a row where a queen loses the wig, puts it on real quick, and then still wins.
I was like, it's kind of, to me, whenever they, I don't know if I can say that, but
That's fine.
Whenever they take it off, but like can put it on and it still goes with the song. Like when Lana did that, I thought it was like,
I think they both.
that was cute.
You know, because that kind of thing happens. It's happened to everyone. Happened to me once. Only once so far, knock on wood. I would hope it wouldn't happen here. Like, I'm acting like,
you never know. Here it goes.
Right.
Flying off.
And it's mortifying in real life.
Yeah.
You know? You can recover well.
Put it back on and like still look like it didn't even phase you. I feel like that's
right. The wig's not busted. Luckily, they both had really structured wigs the first couple weeks. I don't think either one of them like won the lip sync super hard. I thought they both did good with what they were given.
Yeah.
I guess I was indifferent as to where it went, but I was
saying
I felt like Kori was giving it everything, which was
I was happy for Kori to stay just because I think. Like, no shade to Acacia, but I think Kori gives more personality.
And she's giving more story.
Yeah.
She can't go until we at least get the lip sync with her versus Lydia.
Yeah. I'm sure like that's coming.
It's got to be coming. It's a missed, it'd be a real missed opportunity.
Especially with, you can tell the show is playing into the whole storyline of it.
They're leaning into it heavy now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what with the edit, like, it was like, this has been happening every week, but y'all are really telling us about it.
Yeah.
Now we have 3 queens with 2 wins each. Unfortunately, our little Jules, still no wins, but still no bottoms.
Which is, that's surprising to me.
I know, I hate that we're going into episode 9.
It's also crazy to me how Lexi is only with 1, but...
I know, and that was the first one.
But I still see her as the winner to me.
I do too.
I think her...
That's the thing is, like, I still see those 2 as the strongest.
I mean, in that top row, I could see... It's hard. Like, it's gonna be a strong, like, top 4, top 5.
I feel like I just don't know Onya that well. Like,
Same.
I think because the whole first half of the season has been focused on all these dramas.
Yeah.
Which, meanwhile, next week's another design challenge.
I keep going back and forth with her, too, because I feel like...
But she's shown the most talent.
That's, like, the thing. She's, like, a really good singer. She's, like, kind of slaying in a lot of the challenges.
So, I mean, she makes it to win, but...
then, like, you see those things in the backstage where it's, like...
What the hell's that about?
Yeah, like, where she, like, apparently, like, messed up Lexi's outfit or whatever.
Right, well,
and it's, like...
And then the thing with Jules.
Yeah, it's, like...
The 2 girls we
how does
are
that
saying
so happen that both times someone's outfit gets sabotaged? It's Onya.
Next week is another design challenge, so if it happens a 3rd time, she's not... This is intentional.
Yeah. We'll know for sure.
She's going to get Sam next week.
Hopefully she'll be more sneaky about it.
Well,
I'm just kidding. No, because I feel like that's kind of messed up if you're doing it intentionally to, like, mess up someone's outfit. But
I don't think
hopefully
she ever
it was never being an intentional
I think it was
thing.
just a very unfortunate coincidence.
Yeah, it
was I feel like that's been her story. But other than that, with all these comedy shows, like, we're seeing how talented she is in the challenges, but I feel like we're not getting to know her like we are the other girls outside of that. Sam's arc has now definitely shifted as to being more of a contender, clearly.
She's kind of been giving more into her personality, too.
Right. She said she was leaning into that. And
I mean, this episode, she's been acting a little more out there, so...
Her and Arrietty got into it a little bit in Untucked. Arrietty saying, like, well, your part was one of the easiest parts, like, saying to Sam. Which, I mean...
Yeah.
I thought she did a bad share, but they still loved it because it was silly, you know?
That is true. Like, anybody in that part probably would have done a great job. So
it's meant to be. That's the scene.
It's a standout part.
It's the scene stealing part. She comes in, she does it. It's like the Oprah with the wand. Like,
and it's a funny
every
song.
Every part has that. Yeah, and it was a good song.
Yeah,
it's designed to be like it's one of the few songs that's like the lyrics.
Yeah.
And the character are funny in themselves.
Yeah,
you'd have to mess it up.
Right. Like when Shangela was Mariah Carey.
Right,
like,
right. Very that energy,
Yeah.
But like it's already written funny. You just have to deliver what it's giving.
Right.
So I understood what Arrietty was saying, but, they just had a little back and forth, and Sam was like, well, it's a good thing you didn't get it, because you wouldn't have been able to do it. And Betsy Johnson's going to be there, and they give a Betsy Johnson-inspired look. But, when they were showing the preview, it looked like some people were, like, doing different pop stars. Like, it looked like someone was doing Madonna's Like a Virgin. So I'm a little nervous for the taste level, but because Betsy Johnson does like to really go there.
I feel like she's like very colorful, like crazy, like.
Well, I saw some crazy wigs, some crazy.
Like I would live for that runway if they do all pop of color like that, like
because you have a eye with color unlike anyone.
And she's all for the goofy.
Yeah, you could easily go too far.
Yeah. The J. Jolie, like...
Right, hair runway. Or her peacock.
Yeah, whatever.
Any J. Jolie look from season 5. Now it's time to get into the runway, and the category was parasols, so umbrella, essentially.
Yes.
Little beach umbrella, right?
We love an umbrella.
Or like park umbrella.
Yeah.
And we're going to start off with our top 2 of the week, which was Sam and Suzie. I will say, like, look at this picture of her. I don't remember her face giving supermodel like that.
She does look really good.
Oh,
She always does look really stunning to me, like in the face.
Yeah.
Except when she's Cher. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I agree. But also, like, I feel like during this runway, what I remember was her giving her very traditional pageant smile, and I just don't remember, like, if she would have strutted the whole way, like...
With just a scowl.
Like a supermodel like this. She looks like an actual supermodel.
I really do like the dress, but it's one of those from far away you can't fully see all the detail.
And when she first walked out, to be honest, I was like, ugh, another what
gown.
you'd expect from her.
Yeah.
But man, this picture got
I do
got
want
me
her to
together.
like just come
Maybe
and
question everything.
shock us with the look, because she does have like a very signature style of like with the gowns.
Yeah, she did that one silver look at the ball that I was like, okay, I want more of that, like something different. But I mean, this is
she's very Trinity the Tuck's daughter, though.
Very that. I also saw a lot of people sharing that this is a Trinity look.
Oh, like Trinity's worn it before.
Yeah,
I felt like that about a few of her looks. Like I was like, I feel like you could literally see like Trinity. That was probably Trinity's. Like it looks like something Trinity would wear.
Yeah, but they have this similar aesthetic. If I liked how it walked on the runway, it would be my favorite. But there was one that I enjoyed a lot more on the runway.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Suzie's?
I thought it was cute.
That's cute.
It's not like my favorite. I mean, it's not like anything super out there, but it's like I thought it was cute. She looks good in it.
It makes sense to do a swimsuit with this category, but it is still a little underwhelming.
It fits her aesthetic.
Like I thought her makeup actually looks stunning.
Yeah, she did look. She's gotten a lot better with her makeup. Yeah. Like over this season has gone on, I feel like her makeup looks pretty good.
The other 2 in the top were Jules and Onya Nurve.
I loved Jules' look. I thought it was really pretty.
Beautiful, very pageant. I guess I'm just a little bit bored with, like, the funeral looks. I feel like we get a lot of that.
Yeah.
Even though we haven't necessarily seen that on her. Just in general.
Yeah.
I'm kind of tired with those. But I thought she had a good chance of winning today.
Yeah.
Because it was a fully,
And normally she wears such bright colors, I think, so.
I actually noticed lately she's been wearing some darker stuff, like the Edward Scissorhands. And that look she made, the second design challenge, like she's been getting a little bit darker with the color palette. She's given a lot of variety.
Yeah.
And then Onya's, we talked a little bit about it earlier.
I do think hers is cute. I mean, it's not like the most exciting out of all the looks, but I think it's cute. It feels like rainy day, like out in the rain or something, like the yellow.
There's something just not as extravaganza about it.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit more simple. Then we had a couple of our safe girls. I think these are for me, I put them together because to me, out of the runway, they had the best 2 safe looks.
Yes.
Because the runways were incredible. Arrietty and Lexi.
Arrietty always looks so good.
Arrietty's was my favorite.
It is really stunning.
No one topped her for me.
I love like an umbrella with like some beads hanging.
And I thought this was like a beautiful way that she incorporated her culture into the look, but still kept her like character, but it was like the softest version we've seen of it. Her makeup looked incredible. It's like a new version of her,
Hers might be my favorite too. I'm gonna soft. Okay, but I also really liked Lexi's.
Lexi with the cane. That's not gonna help these old lady rumors.
Ah!
That white blonde looks stunning on her.
Yeah.
I did love that. The look itself wasn't my favorite, but she modeled it fierce and she looked fierce.
Yeah, she always looks good.
She always sells it.
Yeah, she has a great runway walk.
Our other 2 safe girls were Lana and Lydia. I will say that Lydia's was my least favorite.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that.
I feel like it was a concept that she didn't finish, and she was saying that the flying nun, that headpiece was not, if that was supposed to be a flying nun headpiece, it was not.
Yeah.
Not there. Not there at all.
Yeah, it was okay. It was just a little too much going on.
So, yeah. And yet she's still naked.
I know. I think I like a lot of her
concepts.
Kind of weird concepts.
Yes,
but this one, it was a little out there.
And then finally our bottom 2, Kori and Acacia.
I actually really liked Kori's look.
I did too. I mean, I did understand Adam saying, yeah, sure, it could use stones, but it was stunning.
If she rhinestoned it, I probably would have taken it just to that next level.
Especially,
but
them being in person.
Yeah.
If it had a little shine to pop.
But I thought that was really cute and camp.
It was one of my favorite looks she's worn, actually,
Yeah.
honestly.
And actually, Acacia's too. I actually really liked it.
The only thing that was a little bit of a boner killer with Acacia's was you've got the 2 parasols in the hair, you know, like it's all decadent and over the top. And then the one in her hand is so tiny. It's just it's just as small as the small one on top.
Right.
I wish that she would have had a giant one that
Ooh.
actually covered up to the width. Like,
yes.
that can't, the little one you're holding, what's that going to cover?
I do. Yeah, that would have been
your
cute.
nose? You know,
Yes.
like, that would have been so fierce.
Yeah.
That would have, like, taken it to, like, oh, she might avoid the bottom too. But,
yeah.
Or, like, oh, she still went out on a real sleigh.
I did love the moment, though, in the lip sync when she took off the top and then
She did that very smooth.
Yeah.
Like, it was, like...
And then she, like,
part
held
of-
it like it was, like, a little umbrella.
Yeah.
Like.
She was making a moment.
Yeah. I really actually like Kori's.
Kori's...
But I don't know if that's my top.
Oh, you never said your top.
Yeah.
Mm.
My least favorite, I think, is Lydia's that I said.
Yeah.
You know, I might say Arrietty's with you. I do think that one was really fierce and, like, very her style. But I also am, like, a soft top for Kori. Because I like a little camp factor.
I feel like the one that you and I both would wear would be Kori's.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the one I would wear.
That's the one I would want to wear.
But
I think that, like...
But for, like,
Arrietty
their
and
own
Sam,
style, I feel like Arrietty's was really good.
Yeah. I think Arrietty's and Sam's are beautiful, but that's not my gig.
I do love Sam's, and I think, like, I see why she was, like, in the top. But, like, I would never wear that or anything. I think it's pretty, but...
I think it's stunning.
But also, like, this runway, I would say, like, the whole theme is not really, like, something that is in my style or my wheelhouse. Like, I never am one to, like, really have a
parasol.
A parasail or whatever. Yeah.
Parasail.
I would have a parasail. That's probably what mine would be.
You'd come out in a boat. Is this it? I'm sailing.
Right, I'm sailing.
I'm a boat. Now it's time to take a look at our YouTube thanks. And we have Tex Aaron here, always coming through for us for many, many years. We love Tex Aaron. I see that the thanks is back. Yep, that came back last week. Easiest way for international viewers to tip is the YouTube thanks. Good, I'm glad,
that's cool.
glad that works out. And then Onya deserved that win, she's actually talking about last week with Snatch Game. So we're always a little behind with these.
I thought Onya, she did really good in the Snatch Game.
Fully deserved it.
Yeah.
I mean, she's eaten up these comedy and dance challenges.
Oh, yeah.
Character challenges. Suzie saying playing yourself. Yeah, as if it's a negative thing. But also, she didn't play herself. She was fully Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. I mean, the voice, like, everything she was doing, like, that was Eddie Murphy. I feel like for Suzie to say that, I'm like, have you ever watched anything with Eddie Murphy
That's
in
what
it?
I said.
Like,
that's what I said. Have you just one movie, at least?
Right, like...
A stand-up special? Seen him do a talk show.
Even if you don't... I feel like everyone has seen Eddie Murphy in something. Like, he's in so many different...
She was in full-on Delulu.
Yeah.
She was in full-on Delulu land. I love you too, Erin, by the way. Hopefully y'all enjoy seeing Chloe back. You'll be back with us this week. Little princess.
I'm back.
2025. Any goals in 2025?
Oh, you know, just being a hoe. No, I'm just kidding.
You're the baby.
I'm just kidding. I would never.
You're like 30 now, and I'm still like, you're the baby. How old are you now?
I'm 27.
Still the baby. That was when I started drag, like 9 years ago.
Say what?
27.
Living the life in St. Louis, and next up, world domination. No, I'm just kidding.
There you go.
There you go.
I like that. That's what Madonna said.
Yes.
The first time she was in American Bandstand. Well, let us know what you think about this week's episode of Season 17. I have one last thing to say today. Glad you got to see us. Bye!